Welcome back to Warparty, a real-time strategy made by Rogueside Games back in 2018. And this game is a Dinosaur RTS.
It's a dinosaur.
Yep, one of the rare gems. Now, is it worth it in 2025? Let's look some of the goods and bads of Warparty. The good points first. Now, are there others? Well, Paraworld is abandonware and Dino Lords hasn't released yet, so this is the only proper RTS where you can train dinosaurs in your army. The second point is resource. It's infinite. Initially there are resource patches of food and crystal, but after harvesting them out completely, you can build farms for food and trading posts for crystals. Basically collect your resource indefinitely. There is a third resource which is power. We'll talk about it later. Third point, and it can be arguable but I think it's a positive, which is unit balance. Each unit has a counterpart in every faction and all three factions have 3 tiers of units. So basic RTS stuff. Even though the tiers are the same, the units are different and unique, making the factions easily identifiable. The fourth point is gameplay. Now, it's very Warcraft-like, but in a good way. It does resemble Warcraft 3 a bit. Even Vitara's worker units are literally Night Elf wisps. The overall gameplay is good, it's smooth, the combat is fun, the sound effects are solid, and the game runs on low-end PCs too. The fifth point, unit cap. The population limit is 200, gives you enough room to build whatever army you want. Like, even in the late game, if you want only tier 3 units in your army, you still can build a substantial sized troop, which is great. And the final good point is the visuals. The color scheme and the skirmish map designs are vibrant but not overwhelming. Makes you want to explore the maps and keep playing on. Okay, now let's talk about the bads. The first and the worst, the story. I think this is the weakest aspect of this game. It's bland, forgettable, and it's not just one story. The 3 factions have separate and parallel stories, which means whichever faction you start the campaign with, you play the story of that particular faction and game over. Same for the other 2 factions as well. So there is no overarching narrative to get invested in, which is a shame because this type of setting could have had a great plot if built correctly. The second point is unit category. Now, even though all the factions have a healthy variety and balance, the game only has land units, no air or aquatic. Now, aquatic may not be necessary for a setting like this, but at least one air unit per faction would have been awesome. Okay, this third point bothers me the most. The Necromas faction doesn't have a single dinosaur unit. Yep, it's all undead, voodoo priests, witch doctors, and other spellcasters. But like when you see Warparty, the first glance that hooks you is the prehistoric creatures. And to think an entire faction doesn't have them is, well, disappointing. My fourth complaint is very limited amount of maps and matchup options. As you can see, there is a 6-player map, but can't make it a free-for-all. I'll say this game's most fun aspect is its custom AI games. So a few more larger maps with free-for-all matchup would have been crazy fun. This last one is a minor point. The units sometimes have pathing issues. Probably some sort of movement bug where they don't know how to settle down or sometimes just stuck. But it's not too annoying for the overall gameplay. Now, I'll say this. Warparty may not be excellent, but it scratches that Warcraft 3 itch a little bit. It's a good, fun, simple RTS you can just pick up and play. Also, the 200 population cap and infinite resources let you continue an AI game as long as you want. It's also very macro heavy. I mean, there are micro elements like unit abilities, but they don't affect the skirmish battles too much. Rather, you can build your army and just go to town, which is great for casual, old-school RTS lovers like me, who don't want to button smash the hotkeys every second. And yet there are hotkey configuration options as well. Let's briefly talk about the third resource, which is power. To collect it, you have to capture shrines, and with power, you can train certain units and use faction-specific spells, which is pretty damn cool. Now let's take a glance at the heroes and the factions. The first faction, Wildlanders. Hero, Mika. This faction is your typical protagonist. The units are a little tanky and cool looking. It's also my favorite faction simply because both Triceratops and T-Rex are here. And not only the dinos, there's a saber-tooth unit as well. all the cool units in one tribe. And Mika is a badass, honor-bound tribe leader who wants to see her people thrive and prosper. The second faction, Vithara, hero, sage. This faction is a bit elvish. As I mentioned earlier, their worker units are wisps. But they also have their own dinos, the smaller ones like raptors. And the fun thing is, those are the primary infantry. But their tier 3 has mammoths, so pretty cool. They're also on friendly terms with the neutral camps. Remember the shrines and how you have to capture them to generate power? Well, both Sage and other Vithara units can just start capturing them from the get-go, while the other factions need to clear out the camps first. Sage, well, you can tell, kind of a hermit. Wants to do right by the nature and stuff like that. He also can tame the neutral creatures. Pretty cool. And finally, Necromancer, hero, Char. They're your typical antagonist faction, tons of undead and spellcasters. It's fun, but as I mentioned earlier, no dino units, which is a letdown. Char himself is a cool edgelord who just wants everybody dead. No surprise there. Jokes aside, Warparty is a fun game overall. It hits that sweet spot of not getting overwhelmed by AI, but there are constant waves of skirmish battles to keep yourself busy. Also, there's a multiplayer option, for now at least. So I guess you can pick it up with a couple of friends if you want and enjoy custom games. It's also sitting at a very attractive price on Steam. So is it worth the purchase? I'll say yes, especially at this price, it's a steal. If you are a casual RTS enjoyer like me, give it a try. And I do hope Warparty lives on, earning some attention from both players and developers, especially now that the RTS games are making a slow comeback. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you all on the next one.